Hello everyone, how are you? How are my little masters and my little ladies? Doing fine, enjoying life, having good time and taking care of your mom and your room and your toys, and if you have any pets, I'm sure you are. Well, so here we go. Today the name of the story is Johnny Appleseed. It's about a boy, and the story is about love, giving love to nature, plants, flowers. It's about going green, right? So, and you realize that by giving love and care to these plants and flowers and trees, they love it and they thrive on it. They grow bigger and healthier, and nothing like being together and working together as a team. All right, let's get started. There was once a traveler who answered to the name Johnny Appleseed. Everyone knew Johnny. He was born in Leominster, Massachusetts, around 1775. When Johnny was 26 years old, he set out to travel all across America. He had collected apple seeds in the East and carried them in a sack slung over his back. As he traveled, Johnny spread the seeds. Would you like to see how he did that? There he is. Do you see? Okay. And did you see the happy squirrels? Oh, enjoying him, and he has such a loving smile on his face. What a big-hearted guy. Then, so he traveled from east and started spreading apple seeds. He would then build a fence around the growing trees to protect them. When settlers came from the east, they would find the apple orchards and feel at home. You know what orchards are? Well, where we have lots of fruit trees. So not all the seeds ended up in trees in an orchard, though sometimes they fell by the side of the road. Some of these seeds were eaten by squirrels, as you saw in the picture. Others was washed away by the rain. But sometimes they would start to grow. This is a story about one of those seeds. This seed fell from Johnny's back as he walked away from a tiny village. There were only a few settlers who lived in this village. They had built some cabins and were hoping to live there for a long time. Just outside the village was a happy little stream. The seed landed beside the stream. So this is the place we are talking about. This is the village where very few houses were built, and the seed, where did it fall? Next to the happy stream. As luck would have it, the soil there was very good for growing trees. It wasn't long before a tender sapling shot up out of the ground. Soon the sapling started to look more like a tree. I just showed you. Right. That's right. The young tree had a bark. Before long, the small sapling sprouted a crown of branches tipped with emerald green leaves. It grew in an open spot where there was plenty of sunlight to soak up. With each passing day, the tree seemed to get a little bit stronger. Johnny would have liked the way this new tree was growing. It has been a warm day, hasn't it? Okay, let's see what happens next. Years passed and the young sapling grew into a fine tree. Each spring it added a little more bark to its trunk. Each spring also saw more settlers passing by on their way west. The small path became even more worn into the ground from the wagons and people passing by. The tree kept growing. Every year it welcomed the newest additions to the deer and rabbit families who came to visit. The tree's branches soon filled with quick-footed squirrels. Sometimes they nibble on the apples. Yes, a bird family always built a nest in the tree's branches. Even its bark was home to tiny beetles and caterpillars. Would you like to see how merry the people and the animals are around this tree? Can you see it? There you go. Okay. The tree was surely glad to have company. Each fall, it said goodbye to summer friends who headed south or went underground for winter. Then it let its leaves drop to the ground and settle down for a nice winter's nap. More time passed and the village became a town. That means it became bigger and it developed. The tree continued to grow too. It stood high above the well-worn path, which was now covered with cement. The branches of the tree spread far over the stream. See? You want to see how it looks? There you are. See? All right, let's see what happens. Now, the town was always busy. It was filled with houses, factories, and people. That sounds familiar, very close, very similar to cities. Of course, the tree heard a lot more than singing birds and gurgling water from the stream. The town noises mixed in with the other sounds that the tree had always known. Laughter also floated in the air. Many people had chosen the big tree as a favorite place for picnics, just like I showed you the family with the dog. Whenever there were children around, they always ended up climbing on the strong limbs of the tree. Yeah. Sometimes they napped in the shade of the tree after an afternoon of play. Unfortunately, with all the people and noise, the deer and rabbits were scared away. The tree missed them, but at least some animals still came to visit. Poor squirrels and birds, they had to shoo away. They scurried away. One day, a loud rumbling noise woke the tree. Before the morning dew had dried on the grass, a big machine came up and started digging holes in the ground. The tree heard the workers say that the town was booming. The tree wasn't quite sure what that meant. Soon tall buildings were built. These buildings blocked the sunlight. The town became a city. The smoke from the factories made the tree choke and even turned some of its leaves yellow. The stream did not run past its root anymore. Cement sidewalks crowded the tree. Soon, all that was left was a tiny patch of grass around the tree's trunk. Perhaps worst of all, even the people seemed too busy to notice the tree. See, people are passing by Look at the small patch under the tree. See how it has changed? Yes. It's going to be sad. So I think the tree is going to be lonely. All right. A really tall building had been built right across the street from the tree. A new family moved into an apartment in the new building. There was a little boy in that family. He was sad because he didn't know anyone to play with. When his mom went to the grocery store, he always asked permission to wait outside. He would step over the fence that surrounded the tree, wrap his arms around the massive trunk, and give the tree a hug. Then he'd climb up the trunk just as fast as a squirrel. This made the tree so happy. And even the lonely boy and the lonely tree, giving company to each other. It would hold its branches out strong and still so the boy wouldn't slip. The tree would then part its leaves so the boy could see the hills that were beyond the city limits. Sometimes the boy would pretend he was a cowboy riding through those hills. The tree became the boy's favorite place. They spent many happy afternoons together. One afternoon, the boy's mother called him to come in. He did not hear her because he was sleeping in the tree. His mother was very worried. She asked some neighbors to help her look for him. They were all calling and looking for the boy. And then someone looked up and saw the sleeping boy in the branches of the apple tree. They all called to him. See, the mother and the neighbors, they're all looking and he's fast asleep on the tree. The sleepy boy opened his eyes and saw the crowd below. "Come down, young man, you'll get hurt," called his mother. "Don't worry, Mom," answered the boy. "This tree is my friend. It watches out for me." An old man chuckled. "It's true," he said. "I napped in this tree when I was a boy." A woman told her story of how she used to picnic under this tree with her true love. Everyone told stories about how they remembered the tree from when they were young. Everyone looked at the tree and its little patch of grass. They all felt very sad because of what they had let happen to the tree. "This tree has been a friend to all of us," said the boy. "It should have a better home." "Let's build a park," said someone from the back of the crowd. The people cheered, "Yay!" In just a few days, there was a loud rumbling sound again. The tree wasn't afraid this time. With the help of the big machines, the people were able to safely move the tree to an empty lot nearby. Then believe it or not, they planted lots of little saplings and tiny baby plants. The tree, who had only seen others like itself from a distance, was now going to be surrounded by other trees. There it is in the middle, and they're planting beautiful flowers, and there are animals and children laughing around. A neighborhood store owner sent over some benches and swings. Soon people filled the park. Birds filled the trees and laughter filled the air. The tree was very happy. Magically, the park seemed to change life in and around the neighborhood. It was almost as if people began to walk more slowly. They made time for picnics and playing. Children came and chased butterflies. They climbed in the tree branches. Birds and animals came and visited the trees and nibbled on the apples. The little boy had read about Johnny Appleseed in the books at school. Then he had an idea. "Let's name the park after Johnny Appleseed," he said to the neighbors. The people thought that was a great idea. The little boy continued to visit the tree even when he was a man with a family of his own. He would sit in the grass and lean against his old friend's trunk. He'd pat the rough bark and smile up at the tree. When he did, the old tree's leaves would rustle and dance, even on the camel's tails. See, you can see the tree and the man and that boy who's grown up, who's named the park Appleseed. Wow, see? Oh, wow, isn't that lovely? So, how did you like the story? Yes. Okay, and what do you think you learned from it? Didn't the little boy reminded the townspeople that everyone and everything needs love? It is especially important to show trees, animals and other wild things extra care because they can't help themselves. In this story, we set the difference love makes to the tree, the boy and the other people in the city. We also see that when a group of people work together, they can make good things happen. When you're outdoors, pay attention to the world around you. Take some time to plant a tree or feed the birds. With a friend, it's an act of love that everyone will appreciate and spread happiness. Won't it? So I hope you'll be doing that. You have ample time to garden early in the morning or in the first half of the day, right? So how did you like your story? Let me know. It was a pleasure to read it out to you, and I love you all. See you soon. Bye-bye.